I am
IRDB.
going to make the side
It makes him
observation that
poop.
in this world, you have not met him
No,
yet
it only
because
makes
he's
him
on the
fart. It
chalk
doesn't
and
make
we
him.
didn't travel to the chalk yet. But in this world, there very definitely is a
Or
sentient
well, too
attack
much.
wheel of cheese named Horace.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh yes.
Of course there is.
Yes, on the disc there is an attack wheel of cheese. His name is Horace. He is sentient. He's a mean mofo.
Why would you say this in my presence? You know now I want to find him.
Come on, quit.
You haven't got to the chalk yet. Only visited there very briefly in a weird little dream while you were in the Elfland, and Tiffany walked into the net of one of the droves. You remember, right? That place that was all green,
Yeah.
blue sky. That was the chalk.
He lives there. The
You ever get a
cheese
chance
the
to get
cheese
back?
lives in the chalk.
The cheese lives on the chalk. Yes.
Boo.
Horace, the stinking blue cheese of Langer.
I love him.
Yes. Roland have heard of him? Yeah, Roland knows about Horace. So, back to TROLGG, back to Exandria, back to our
Back to
expedition
TROLGG, back to
to
Exandria.
Exandria.
Jesus.
I love you.
All right.
No, it was beautiful. I want you to do it again and again.
But not right
You
now.
do realize, Dippy, that we have witnessed the singing of dogs. No, we have witnessed the singing of dog. We now know that he will and can do it.
He won't do it. He can do it, but he won't when we do it.
I know, but it has happened.
Mark it on your calendars, everybody. This is history.
Yes. And it was beautiful. All
Target
right.
34. NV.
When we left off, your caravan had gotten started back on the road. You'd had a little bit of issues. Geico had been, at one point in time, trussed up and thrown in the back of a wagon at Tazpool's feet. Because he kept singing right in Queequeg's face. Right? He was doing aggressive singing in Queequeg's face, so Queequeg, being Queequeg, took care of it. Tazpool freed the Geico after a little bit of discussion. Queequeg had fallen back to the back of the caravan, and in discussion with Pete and Maggie Keen Eyes and Jojito hanging out of the back of the wagon, had been driven almost to the point of rage in the discussion of poopage versus cheese. As you progressed down the road, Ao gives out the signal that there's a gap in the roadway ahead, and it's probably a good enough place to stop for the midday, and heads toward her wagon towards it, and the other wagon follows suit, since the rivals seem to be, the other group seems to be largely in charge of making sure that the wagons keep going down the road. You all don't seem to be able to cope with that particular task. So you're happily riding or walking along behind. Is there anything anybody wants to do while our wagons are moving down the road towards a place to break for lunch? Don't everybody talk at once.
No. Trudging along.
I want to do something during lunch, not right now.
Okay, all right. And Geico, huh, Evie?
I'm just gonna take a nap inside my hammock.
Yep. Okay, so you're on Pete's back. You're not in the wagon with you were riding in the wagon with Jojito, but you're now on Pete's back.
You know what? Nah, I'll take a nap in the cart.
The wagon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Pete, you have the Raven on your shoulder, but you're not carrying Evie for the moment. Okay.
He says okay.
All right.
I think he's cleaning
Um,
his mic.
Okay. Jojita, you're hanging out the back of the cart. Evie's inside the cart, snoring away. And you're in quiet discussion with Pete and Maggie and Queequeg, who's a little stompy, a little angry looking as he's walking along behind, cussing and grumbling. Not had the best morning. Um, I need perception rolls from Tazcool and Jojito. Please. Everybody be sure you're rolling in the right channel.
No.
Do it
Roll
anyway.
a straight d20. 15, slightly above average. A very nice roll.
Okay. Pete, you too. But not you, Queequeg. You're still mad.
He's grumbling on awkward.
You do that grumbling so well. It almost would be, it seems like you might be practiced at it. Right?
I'm going to say right now that whenever Queequeg is grumbling and muttering and stuff like that, it's always in.
It sounds like a frog gurgling.
A frog cussing his hand.
Right? Just FYI, very much meta and out of game. Stephen was in a conversation with his sister this afternoon, and she very much called him out on being typecast and having to adjust his character play a little bit.
This natural 20 is brought to you by Petunia.
Petunia. All right. As the wagons are pulling up to this sort of wide spot in the road, the three of you spot off in the distance another sort of a
Damn, nice
kerfuffle
roll.
that you think might be the migrating mammoths. That you had seen a few days before.
Yeah, I remember
So
that. Yep.
off far to the west and sort of downhill a little bit from where you are now, there's another large cloud of dust that you feel like might be those migrating type mammoths.
Excuse me.
Now,
Sorry.
last time we saw them, I remember charging into them, but I don't remember why.
It wasn't you that did the charging, but yes, I'm not really sure why the charging was done either, but the charging was done.
That's about where I stand too.
Yeah. There was
Pete,
charging done.
Pete, pick anything else up?
Other than the cloud of dust that's off in the distance to the west, no. Right now, that's what you guys all see.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it charging.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Can you tell which direction they're going?
It seems to be almost parallel with where you are, and not really moving all that quickly.
All right.
So
Okay.
they don't seem to be. They seem to be paralleling yours off to the west. Your group off to the west.
Got it.
They're just traveling, not stampeding.
Hard to say at this distance.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
I was just thinking, like we couldn't tell if something spooked them or anything like that.
As
Too
yet,
far
no.
for that. Okay.
Too
Okay.
far for that for right now.
Okay.
As Ao and the other group have, kind of pulled out some refreshment type thing. Somebody tapped a water keg and somebody else grabbed a rations pack, passing around some good old raisins and peanuts rations. You are all standing around having lunch. Is there anything anybody wants to do right now?
Yeah. I would like to take my chalk and I am going to find something to graffiti.
Did you wake up?
Yeah,
To what?
eating lunch.
Okay, so you're going to graffiti something?
Yeah.
There is a fairly large boulder off to one side. It does have some carvings of some sort, like pictograph type carvings. That a few of them look like they might have been colored at one point in time with ochre or something like that, so that they seem a little bit stained. Other than that, nothing else is really on it. This is obviously a campsite or a rest site that's been used by other people. There's the remains of an old fire ring. There's no real trees around. The few trees that have been around obviously have been cut down and used for, firewood. And there's some chunks of half-burned wood sitting around type thing. Other than that, it's just a bare spot on the side of the road.
Okay.
So for
I
graffiti sources, you have the 2 wagons. Whomever of your party will allow you to draw on them, or the rock.
I'm gonna draw on the rock. I am going to draw. I'm gonna draw stick figures of everybody in our group.
Okay.
He and me and mine. I'm gonna use the pink one, and I'm gonna give me a pink witch hat that's like all overly sized and drooping to the side. And I'm gonna do my pink Crocs. And Tazcool, I'm gonna give him a little tail. And then Geico, I'm gonna give Geico a couple tails. And Jojito, I'm gonna do with like long flowing hair that like it looks like it's blowing in the wind.
Oh my god.
And
Wax and flax and flowing down to there.
And Quigquag is gonna be a moon. But okay, it's a half moon. But the round part's at the bottom, and he's got little legs out on like above him, and his head's out the side. So
So
that
you're drawing him falling on his back.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna write TROLGG,
G.
and then G.
Fuji.
Yes, and 2 G's. But I was gonna make the G's kind of look like circle arrows, so that it's
Okay.
pointing up, and then that's it. I'm gonna
All
go.
right. As you're drawing and as you're scrawling all of these beautiful designs on the rock, and let's be honest, most of them are stick figures. I mean, very definitely the drawing of Evie looks like the women's restroom triangle skirt stick figure with a triangle on its head as well. Your talents, you have many, they just don't lie in artistry as of yet. But you very definitely are able, with a rough piece of chalk on a rough piece of rock, to draw emblems of your group. And as you're drawing, you realize that there's very definitely not just previous graffiti style markings, there's carvings on this rock.
Ooh, I'm gonna open up my book, and I'm gonna get out the charcoal,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd probably be smart not to tear the papers out, but I'm gonna tear one out and find the coolest one, and then I want to scribble, and get it to transfer.
Right? Do a brass rubbing?
Yeah, and then I'm
All right.
going to give that away as a present.
All right. Which of your rolls would be higher, performance or arcana?
Fucking oddly, performance. I'm a
I'm
cleric.
I'm here for this. Let's have a good solid performance roll.
15?
Yeah, 15. You get a creditable rubbing, enough so that the characteristics of the rubbing are shown, and you see a thing that looks like a spider with the head of a woman, and over her head, up in the air with rays emanating out from it, is a 12-sided dodecahedron.
Oh, I need to look at my religion. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, so with I think what she would know, I'm gonna go run to the goblin. Look what I found!
So you're headed to Dermot,
Yep.
and
Wait.
you okay?
She's gonna look at it and look at all of my people in my group, and yep, and then run for Dermot.
So you run over to Dermot. He turns around as you run up and says, "Oh, hey, Evie.
Hey, look what I found!
What you got?"
It's a spider woman with with a with is that the Luxodon? Or a
And he looks at the paper and
Laxodon?
he says, "Oh, her. We don't talk about her, especially around Gelsarian." Yeah, that's the Luxon. Look at that. Where did you find this?
It's over here on the rock with somebody came by and they drew pictures of us. Can you believe it?
And he follows you back over to the rock, and he wonders and looks and points at all of the different images that you made, and he laughs about Geico's multiple tails, and he thinks that Tazkul's tail is really pretty, and he laughs a little bit at Queequeg on his back, and he points at your pink hat admiringly, and then points at the one on your head, and says, "Just like you." And then he looks at the inscriptions that you traced with your brass rubbing and says, "Wow. You know what you found?"
I came and got you.
No, this is from the Calamity. This is from a long time ago. This must have been one of the battle places. This is a marker of where the forces of the Luxon had one of the battles and overthrew the forces of Lolth.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about her, especially around Gelsarian. But yeah, that's who that is.
What? Why not? Does he hate her?
He really does hate her. And I mean, to be fair, she did some really, really awful things to his people. It's not so much hate, it's more of a phobia.
Oh.
Yeah, he kind of sweats and turns. I mean, he's gray now, but he turns kind of pale and he sweats, and I've seen him get to the point where he's almost puking.
So do I don't know what the Calamity is. Maybe somebody else does, or maybe you could teach us about it. We like to learn.
Well, I think you probably do know. Make an insight roll.
12.
With a 12, you don't really recall immediately, but as he continues to tell you about it, you do remember that you did hear your father and your mother talking, And the old cleric that taught you to respect and to love the Raven Queen, who used to come to dinner at your parents' house. They all used to talk about the time before, when the gods and the betrayer gods broke the world, or almost broke the world, before they sealed themselves away behind the curtain. The time before Exandria was in the shape that it is now, when the continents were different, when the people were different, and when the land was unscarred.
So, do you think that maybe there's like a special weapon or something around here? Like, the sword in the swamp.
I don't know about any sword in the swamp. There's never any sword in any swamp that I was ever in, and I was in a lot of swamps. But there sure could be weapons and little bits of remains from the. I mean, it can't hurt to look. Let's go tell AU and the others about it, huh?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So he walks with you over to talk with AO and everybody else who's sort of gathered around the back of the wagons. Where are you all in position right now? Let's start with you, Geico. Where are you at?
Probably still by the wagons, like looking for scraps of meat instead of berries and nuts.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely the remains of, breakfast cobbled together in a bowl in their back of the wagon type thing. So you can get eggs and sausages and what have you, little bits. Where are you, Jojito?
I reckon sitting around the fire with
Okay, there's no fire.
no
There's
fire.
just remains of an old fire ring. You guys are kind of brown bagging it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just sitting around with the group.
Okay, sounds
It's the
good.
first
Pete?
time I got to be with people, so I figure, yeah, I'm gonna take full
Good.
advantage.
Absolutely. Pete, where are you?
He's coming.
Pete's, he's got his back up against a wagon wheel and he's probably taking a nap.
Okay. Pete's very definitely taken advantage of the lull in the movement. He's had his snack. He was obviously one of the more hungry ones, so he ate quickly and he's now taking a little nap. That makes good sense. Tazcool, where are you?
Just like nowhere in particular. Like um, just with the group, I guess.
Okay. Sort of sitting down around the outside of the fire ring too with Jojito?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Queequeg?
He's, I assume, just sitting by the wagons, eating some jerky, reading his accordion book.
Okay, so Queequeg studying his accordion, how to play the concertina accordion instructions. Maggie Keen Eyes has joined Pete in holding up the wagon wheel and is snoring as well. Everybody else is just sort of milling around, eating a little something, just, resting their feet for a few minutes before you guys get back on the trail. As you and Dermot hustle up there, Evie, you come up to the group.
Hey, you guys, we
Hello,
found
Evie.
a clue. Well, it might not be a clue, but it's definitely something that we can't tell. Look, and I'm gonna unroll it and show Jojito.
Okay.
Oh,
It's the Spider Queen.
I like spiders.
Shh, 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 shh. Not supposed to say anything because old pussy pants, he don't like it. Like this lady was really evil and bad and made his people like suffer.
Chojito, roll perception.
Righto.
Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Okay.
Good deal. It takes me a minute to roll anyway.
Oh, I need to go down to the right channel. I'm so glad I changed my dice, man. My pink dice. It's my pink character sheet, my pink backdrop.
I didn't see too good then.
That's because I got that paper right up in your visuals.
His
All
nose
up
is
in my-
actually touching it.
Yeah, there's now black.
Eyes are crossing, freaking. Payday.
All you can see is a D12 right by your eye.
Payday.
Ooh, I'm gonna take this second to go grab my drawing book.
Hey, and that tin was pretty cool, I found, man. I freaking love it. I found a tin that has little sweet tart looking, or their health potion looking sweet tarts
That's
Oh, how
adorable.
cool. That's
in
adorable.
a half a D20 tin.
Oh my god. That's so cute.
Yeah, I want it so bad.
Oh man, it was cool, man. And I checked. I put my D20 up to it, and the numbers actually correlate.
Oh.
Bless, somebody was smart. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
All right.
man, it was freaking awesome.
So with that 11, you don't know who she might be talking about that's wigged out. You know that somebody in part of in the group is supposedly very upset by the mention of this particular whatever it is, but you don't know who. As you look at this, it's a brass rubbing. It's very shadowy, smudgy because it's been handled by Evie and then Dermot, which, if you recall, is a little girl and a goblin, respectively. There's an image on it that looks like it might be some sort of 8-legged thing. The very definite upper half of a woman's body, very sort of voluptuous in a caveman drawing sort of way. And the floating D12-sided spheroid.
Evie, the only thing I know of the Spider Queen is when I was a younger lad. The people used to talk of a group back in the day that tried to feed a Spider Queen to a white dragon.
Oh.
I think the I think there was a druid that summoned it.
And as you're talking, Galsariad walks up behind you, Jojito, looks over your shoulder, grabs a hold of Dermot's shoulder, and says, "Where did you get that, and why do we have it here?" And Dermot says, "Oh, yeah, no, it's over there on the it's a battle marker. It's over there on the rock." And
My mouth
Galsariad's going to
dropped.
go over to the your mouth drops, and Galsariad hurries over to the rock to examine it.
I feel like I should be in trouble for this because, like, Dermot got yelled at because of what I drew.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna go over and hold Dermot's hand and tell him it's okay. Sometimes adults they just get mad and they yell for no reason, and it's not your fault. Kind of my fault.
Wait,
And he looks at
does
you and says,
she?
It's not your fault either, Evie. You found something that's important, and Galsariad knows it's important. He's gonna just have to deal with this fear on his own. Everybody always has to deal with their own fears. You know how this works."
I have a really quick question. Does Evie think Dermot is a child?
He's He's my size. I gotta look out for him, even if he's not a child.
Okay, just checking. Thank you.
But he may be. I don't know yet.
Oh God.
He's weird to me. Like
All
he's
right.
a kid, but he's not a kid. Oh, the
Geico,
court's out on this.
make an insight roll, Geico. As you're observing this and wondering.
There's 2 more left.
24.
Yeah. With the 24, you realize that Evie very definitely sees Dermot as equal in age, equal in stature, equal in party value, and equal in ability, because he was, after all, a cleric who is her size. And you know, and everybody else in the party realizes that this is an adult male goblin. But she very definitely sees him as her companion her age.
Ha.
He is my equal.
Ha. 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 Ha.
What's with you, Geico?
As Queequeg asks you, what's with you?
Oh, our tiny companion Evie does believe that our other tiny companion Dermot is also a child, and it makes me ha.
You want me to talk to her?
No, please do not.
No.
Absolutely not.
You leave this alone.
Why not?
Don't you dare touch a thing.
I need to see it play its course.
Right.
Okay. And Queequeg gives you like, the hell is wrong with you two?
So Jojito and Geico are sharing a moment of mirth, realizing that Dermot is aware that Evie sees him as a friend and companion of the same age, and perfectly happy to go along with it. And the other group looks on, and you catch the eye of Ayo, who's standing off to one side, and Isfan, who's also standing off to one side. And they look at you and smirk, Jojito, as you realize that they've seen this right along and have been kind of letting it ride and enjoying the play out as well.
Oh, yes. I love this.
And Queequeg just walks off trying to look around.
Right? So Queequeg's off, kind of kicking the gravel and looking around. Yet that herd of presumably mammoths seems to be getting a little bit closer. It's either that or the dirt cloud's getting a little bit bigger.
Do I see this?
Yeah.
Okay, who's close to me?
Well, you walked off from the group. So the group is at the fire ring. Pete and Maggie are leaned up against the wheels of the wagon, snoozing. Galsariad is overlooking at the rock.
I'm gonna go over to Maggie.
Uh-huh.
Kind of. Hey, Maggie.
What? I was asleep.
We might have something here. Is it just me, or is that dust cloud getting closer?
What dust cloud? She didn't see it.
That's right.
Big dust cloud over that way.
Maggie pokes you, Pete, not gently, just knocks you over. You know about this thing?
That herd we've seen a few days back. I think it's still following us. Well, not following
What?
us. It's right there.
Oh. What?
Remember that herd
thing.
Who heard
Oh,
Big
what?
dust cloud.
I didn't hear it.
Mammoths.
Huh?
Mammoths.
My mom.
Mammoths.
Oh.
And you know, it takes a few minutes. I mean, you're expressing yourself so beautifully, and Maggie's understanding is so very much, you know, so keen. And Queequeg is, pointing it out. Maggie's pointing it out. Jojito's pointing it out. Pete's pointing it out. You succeeded pointing it all out to each other and realizing that, yes, indeed, this likely is a herd of mammoths. And that it does seem to be a little bit closer than it was when you saw it from the road earlier.
You want to go check it out?
I very definitely see this group of 4 people sort of standing there, all of you pointing and then arguing and pointing back and forth. Huh?
Nice mammoths.
Yes.
Stuck. Now,
Do the
is there
mammoths.
anything that does the mammoths look? Can we tell anything more about the herd of mammoths now that they're close?
Maggie stands there for a minute, not being able, she's just not a creature of higher thought. But after a minute, she goes over and she pokes Ao, which knocks Ao over, and points it out to Ao. And Ao rummages around in the back of the wagon and gets out a spyglass. And proceeds to
Wait, we have a house?
walk over to the group where you guys are all standing around and look through the glass and then pass the glass around so you all can see what's going on. And what you see is very definitely several mammoths, as you expected, but also what appear to be several large flying creatures that are, for lack of a better word, harrying the herd. They seem to be flying in low, sort of scratching at or biting at the herd, and then flying back up into the air and then circling back around.
Those creatures look like the ones we fought for the last group we just left.
Roll perception.
Right.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Dirty 20.
Quick got a dirty 20, and you got a 15. With that perception, Pete, you can roll perception too if you want. You're there right there looking through the spyglass.
Isn't that an advantage through a spyglass?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I believe that's. I didn't know if you had a literal one, and okay.
You are all sharing around one spyglass, and there's 6 or 7 of you, so any one person can take advantage. So go ahead.
I'll roll a second time then, just in case. I got an 18 on the first one. You never know. I might get higher.
And Pete's got it backwards, man. He just can't figure out how to use a spyglass.
Oh my god.
This don't work. What is it?
The little hole doesn't really fit your eye. The big hole very definitely fits your eye better, but it really is not helping at all.
Oh my god,
Hey, oh my
Gala.
god.
Oh my
Gala, I
god.
love
Oh
you.
my god. This is the most beautiful. I'm quitting. I'm never drawing again. This is perfect. I can never beat that group photo.
you reach like the skill ceiling of drawing. You can't get it's all down from here.
I tried to channel my inner child.
Take a point of inspiration for that, please, Gala.
My god, that is beautiful.
Nice.
That is glorious.
So, like, it's okay with everyone if I never get around to the group portrait, right? Because we have one already.
Yeah.
And I feel like nothing I could do would actually match the energy of this group as well as this.
Right?
Oh, that hurt. I've got pink and blue chalk right here. Pink, blue, and yellow chalk, too.
Oh my god.
Maybe as the turtle that's depicted on his back, I like a proper portrait.
Okay, Steven, I got you. Everyone else is perfect, but I got you. But please understand, if I draw Queequeg, he'll still be on his back.
I kind of figured.
Poor weak Maggie.
I love that.
He gets no respect around here.
The Rodney Dangerfield of turtles.
Oh
Only the
my
first
god!
mate on a ship, and now he's the joke.
Yeah, he's quick.
God.
He's a beautiful thing. I love it. So, where were we? Oh,
Man,
spyglass up to the wrong end of the spyglass up to the end. So Pete's, very definitely having adventures with the spyglass. Maggie's trying to help him, but the rest of you do see that these appear to be large flying creatures, possibly similar to the ones you just fought. Very difficult to tell at this distance. You do know they are not birds.
is this herd heading towards us?
It's parallel to you in the west.
Yeah, they're kind of moving diagonal towards us, but doesn't seem like a
I have a
very
question.
hard cross.
Right.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Did Pete get a short rest?
Everybody got a short rest.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell the dragon?
But how far would you say it was? Like, can we tell?
With that perception roll that you guys rolled and the assistance of the others that are standing there, you realize that it's at a distance of at least 5, maybe even 6 or 8 miles.
Ooh, that's good distance.
Yeah, they're a ways away across the valley. Nowhere near the roadway right now. They're just off the west.
Alright, you guys want to go try to save those animals?
Ayo looks at you and says, "Why?"
Doesn't matter to me. The strong survive.
Well, if those are the same creatures that are terrorizing this area, to do away
If they
with some
are, then
more of
they're
them.
busy. Then they're busy tackling the animals, and we can get by and continue on our way. If we go over there, it's going to take a full day time. It'll take half of the rest of the day to get there, fight whatever it is there, and then get back here. It's a good hour, maybe hour and a half to get over there, and then whatever it takes us to fight, and then another hour or so to get back, and we're fighting for nothing.
Yeah, I'm with Ao.
All right.
Let the animals keep whatever it is busy, and let us keep going on our way. Maybe they won't see us.
Or maybe they'll catch up with us down the road, and then we can fight them. The bad guys, not the good, the animals.
We should definitely watch for them on our way, but I feel like if they're busy attacking the animals, they're not attacking us.
Huh? I'm hungry.
You're always hungry.
Mammoths are meat.
Meat? I would like some fresh meat.
No, you are staying well away from those mammoths. We don't need to repeat what happened last time, thank you very much.
Why?
She turned into a deformed baby mammoth. That's right.
Baby mammoth. Trust me, there was something baby about that.
And Maggie looks at you, Pete, says, "I'm hungry too. Let's get to the caravan stop. They have mutton."
Oh.
I want something. I don't want mutton.
No, mutton, like a sheep.
Oh, I thought she was talking about not eating.
No, not nothing. Mutton.
Oh, must be something with the accent.
Must be something with your ears? You have ears. I have ears, but they're holes in my head. I hear very well.
Ears.
What?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, they just don't connect to anything.
Oh.
What?
What?
Huh?
Excuse you.
What?
Oh.
What did you...
Huh?
I didn't understand.
You heard me.
What?
Oh, I heard...
You have ears, they just don't connect to anything.
You're incredibly mean.
What?
What did you say, Pete?
Pete's just saying what over and over again.
Oh,
Yeah. You're confuzzling everyone. Stop it. Get some help.
oh.
So Gelsariad takes a better rubbing and bundles it up, and you see him off in the area around the rock, sort of making measurements and using a couple of arcane instruments to sort of isolate where he is in position to the landscape, and taking some notes in his journal, making a better rubbing of the image on the rock, and a little sketch of Evie's sketch as well, so that he can take detailed information back to Rosona about this. The rest of you are sort of huddled in the middle of the roadway doing what at each other, passing around a spyglass, watching a herd of mammoths get harried by some very large flying creatures, and having a discussion as to whether or not you're going to go and tackle the mammoth fight, or whether you're going to continue on the roadway towards the Caravan Outpost. The other group, with the exception of Gelsariad, so 4 out of the 5 of the other group, vote to continue on. What is the vote from you all?
I vote to continue.
I vote to fight.
You always vote to fight.
If the oh, go ahead, Pete.
That's the reason I live for.
I vote for you guys.
So Pete votes for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. What about you, Evie?
I'd really like to save those animals, but there's mutton.
All I know is I want to change my short rest for a better rubbing.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Better rubbing is
I'm sorry, you hit all of our inner 12-year-old with that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I should have known better. I beg recovering from insomnia.
Phrasing. Oh my god! I think Geico's good. If the mutton is guaranteed, I vote we continue on. If not, I would like a mammoth. What's funny, Pete?
Mutton is guaranteed.
Well, some kind of meat is guaranteed a place to replenish Caravan.
Maggie, do you think that there'd be a place to fight for Tazcool? He wants to beat something up.
She looks at him and says, yeah, sure. I'm sure there's something. We could always get into there's going to be a bar, so if there's a bar, there's a bar brawl.
Oh,
really?
no.
I haven't gotten
I'm not much of a drinker.
No, it's not about it's not about the drink.
Alcohol is nothing compared to the average fight, in my opinion.
If you just walk into a bar and
Queequeg, for the first time, you see a weird sort of smile play across Queequeg's weird features, and a glint of humor in his eyes for the first time all day. He's been a grumpy bastard up until this moment, but the mention of bar brawl has him perking up, and he's like, I'm all for it. Yes, where?
God damn it, I just lost internet.
As we come to the consensus that we keep an eye on the mammoths and continue down the road.
Oh boy.
All right, so who's doing what as far as walking and riding is concerned?
No, get down.
I think Geico wants to stretch his legs because he spent so much time tied the fuck up. So he's walking.
All right, so Geico's walking. What about you, Jojito?
I'm resting.
I'm walking.
Okay, so
I have no choice.
I'm riding.
Okay. Pete, what are you doing?
Walking.
You're walking. Okay. Evie? Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off, Pete. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't say anything else.
Okay.
I am riding in the back one so that way I could give Pete just a little bit of rest. I mean, I only weigh 62 pounds, but you know, Pete
Yeah.
needs the rest.
Okay, so Pete and Jojito, or Evie and Jojito, are in the rear wagon. Taskul is where's Taskul at? Are you walking or are you in the front wagon?
I am in the front. I am in the front. I almost said wagon.
Okay, all right. Geico is walking. Queequeg, are you still walking?
Is there room for me in the wagons?
I mean, you can ride in the one where Taskul is, but it'll burden down the wagon.
Yeah, no. Quick one's walking.
Okay.
Not only does he not want to burden down the wagon, he does not ride it.
Yeah, the two of them are not a good thing. Not in the space of one wagon. That's not a good recipe, is it? Okay.
He knows bad idea when he sees it.
All right. So the caravan's moving down the road. A little
Moving
bit.
right along.
Yeah, moving right along. Exactly.
So,
In search of
yeah.
good friends and good. Sorry.
So we're just marching along right now.
Yeah, you're just marching along, keeping an eye on the dust
yeah.
cloud that's off to your west.
That, and then you'll hear Pete kind of go, "There was a hole.
There was a hole
in the middle of the ground."
in the middle of the ground. Sing
And
with
Pete-
us, Jojito.
Well, this
Hey,
is going
Pete
to
and
be
Evie.
delightful.
I don't
Well, I'm
know
not
the
going to keep
words
going.
to this one.
The green grass grows all around, all around. Yeah, they're singing that.
Green grass grows all around. Yeah, and
Quickly is speeding up to the front, to near the front.
and Maggie's helping out. Well, in this hole, there was a
See,
tree.
Bart.
Tree. Yeah, there was a tree.
there was a
Prettiest
branch
tree that you ever
that you
did
ever did see.
you ever did see.
And at that point, Quickly goes like hands to his ears, just marching faster straight up to the.
And the green grass grows around, 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 around.
Geico's trying to like play along to like accompany them, but they keep like fucking up everything, so he just gives up.
Well, they think they're doing great.
Yep.
Perfect harmony.
Oh my god. 2 ogres singing.
With a little girl, and it sounds
Oh my
like a cat being skinned.
god.
It's a thing of beauty. And as you trundle down the road with the green grass growing all around. And the afternoon wears on, and I need group perception, please.
Lord almighty.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Yeah, Geico is way too distracted by the terrible singing happening around him.
23.
Oh my god,
How do you
so beautiful.
7.
how do you think Evie and
holding his ears.
how do you think
Nine.
Evie and Pete how do you think Evie and Pete survived so long on the road?
By
They just
scaring
sang on the
robbers
road.
away by singing.
Oh, we're not messing with. These are crazies.
Right?
Bye.
Like every roadside bandit who was waiting to pounce on them were like, oh god, no. They're gonna taste
So yeah, Geico, I
terrible.
need your perception.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, I got you.
Quickly's holding
At
his ears.
9.
Hard
So, yeah.
noise has affected everybody in a negative way.
So
Yeah,
negative.
no, I mean,
Just look at us. We're just like, yeah.
the only ones who are absolutely on point and watching what's going on is Pete and Evie and Maggie. I mean, they're making all the noise, but they're also fully aware of what's going on around them. As
Focus, man. It's the marching song.
Jesus.
right? as Jojito very much participates in the mess, completely disregarding what's going on. Queequeg sort of is holding his ears and doggedly marching down the road. Geico is lost in trying to find a chord
Like
somewhere.
he keeps stopping and then starting again and then stopping and starting again, trying to keep up with
Yeah.
like their weird cacophony.
The key keeps changing and you don't know what the time signature is. It's just a mess. And Tazgul is very much getting a headache.
So this is like super focusing for them, but incredibly distracting for the rest of us.
Right.
Everybody else.
It's like the friend you has to sing when they drive, and you
Oh,
have
Right?
to get a ride, and you have to get a ride from them.
I mean, like I am that friend though.
Yeah.
3-hour ride.
Yeah. And
It's the only way
day
they
you
can
go to
drive good.
Yep.
Right,
Oh.
and every day you go to work with the tune of "Do You Believe in Life After Love"
Do
at the
you
top of somebody's lungs.
believe in life after love?
Don't.
I can feel something inside myself. I'm sorry, I'm
Are you
done.
feeling
Yeah,
better?
exactly.
I need a potion of Advil.
Yeah, right.
Fuck off, Joe.
You can see this title thing.
So,
Yeah, do something.
So-
This one. Yeah.
so what do we see with our
I don't see nothing.
focused singing perception?
You and Maggie see that this cloud is a little bit closer, but not a lot, and sort of keeping along with you as far as beside you is concerned. Still mostly parallel to you.
Is it close enough to still see the haranguing aerial thing?
You never did see them because you never did figure out the spyglass.
Nobody said anything. I figured they said something.
Yeah, no, they talked to you about it. With the squint and with those good perception rolls between you and Evie, you do see that you might see something kind of dive bombing them still.
Maybe.
Might see,
Okay.
maybe a little bit.
Do we get the color of it?
It's dust. All as far as color is perception, all you can see is dust
It just
hanging in
kind
the
of
air.
looks like a shadow.
Big
What time
big
of
kind
day?
of reddish cloud.
What
It's
time of day is
afternoon.
it by now?
You're
Midday?
in the mid afternoon.
Okay.
Like 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So it's a dust cloud off in the 2-3 miles away.
So yeah, I'll share that with everybody. We'll stop our cacophony of singing.
Around
Mammoths!
as Maggie winds down.
Mammoths!
Yeah,
Oh,
and you point out to everybody that the dust cloud's still there, still sort of parallel you, still sort of keeping up with you, maybe a little bit closer. And Ao says, "Yeah, no, I think we need to keep pushing on. We should make Bazozan. If we keep going the way we're going, we'll get Bazozan sort of, midnight, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't think we need to make camp tonight. I think we need to just keep pushing on. What do you guys all think?" No, this caravan, not bad. Caravan Outpost.
do you think
So
we should? Does it look like the herd's going towards Bazzoxan?
No, it's going towards the Caravan Outpost. It's going down the valley, and you realize that the road that you're on parallels some foothills at one side, the east side of a valley, and the land slopes away to the west to a major river that goes northwest or north-south down the middle of this edge of the continent, down the middle of Jorhas, and that the herd is being driven sort of down parallel to the river, further deeper in the valley than you are. You're at the edge.
I'm gonna take a picture. Right up there.
Yeah, I agree. Let's continue on.
Maybe some of us should take a nap so that we can keep going and not be like, I know what my necklace does. I can sit on one of the horses and the front, and I could like do light for a while, so we don't have to worry about hitting a tree or anything.
We could lay down.
It's all right. I just need this section.
You'll
Okay,
be
I'm
just
trying
like
to.
Rudolph
I
the
pulled out
Red-Nosed
my
Hedgehog.
map of. I pulled out my map of Jorhas. Where the words are, where it says the Emerald Loop. You guys are on that. Where the words are, where it says Emerald Loop. That's where you're walking. And the river is, and the herd is between you and the river. And you're kind of at that point where the river loops off to the west in kind of a wide spot. The green blob right at the letter T for the Emerald Loop, that's the Caravan Outpost.
Okay, so we're going west.
Which letter are we in the Emerald Loop?
You are about the E, the capital E.
Okay.
It looks like that green blob is the Emerald Loop. We're going down the trail to it.
You know, the Emerald Loop is the trail, the name of the trail.
Oh.
The herd is parallel with you, closer to the river.
Okay.
So you're at the capital E, headed south towards that green blob there, right at the of the Emerald Loop.
Okay, so it's a circle if you pull it up close enough.
Okay. Did the map help a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. That's
Okay.
nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
No, stop it.
Oh.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
What?
Nothing.
Where's Basil Sand?
Okay.
Looking at
Go-
the map, it's on the bottom by the mountains towards the
Bottom right.
It's not Bazzoxan is not on the bottom, and it's not a bottom right, it's at the top right on the map.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
sideways.
Kind of triangle.
Go to the east.
The
See it?
orientation. Okay, I see now.
Yeah.
You want me to try to
Just got it?
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I got it. It's on there. All right. So you guys
But we're
can
not heading towards the T. We're heading south.
You're heading to the T of the Emerald Loop. The word that the Emerald Loop is, the T, that green circle that's right underneath the T, that is the Caravan Outpost.
And then we're going to be making a left, is what you're saying.
Exactly. You're going to head left towards Bazzoxan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah, you had to travel down that mountain range, down the trail, the Emerald Loop Trail to the Caravan Outpost, and then you're going to head left to Bazzoxan through the barbed fields.
Gotcha.
Okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And everybody do your thing for a few minutes, and we'll come back with our afternoon and evening push to get to the Caravan Loop or Caravan Outpost. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So
because then we're going to go even deeper and it's going to get worse.
You mean stupider.
Right?
But
I mean,
side note, you should totally watch Supernatural. It's on Netflix.
Dude, I have episode 1 or season 1, season 2, and the Supernatural, the anime series sitting on my shelf. What do you mean?
Anime series?
I just
There's
Yes.
a
can't.
freaking anime series?
Supernatural made an anime series, which is really good because a couple of the live episodes were made animated and furthered stories.
That is true. They did like a Scooby-Doo animation episode, which was actually really, really good.
Yes.
oh my
Yes.
God.
No, I'm not.
Make us stop! Make us stop!
I tried.
Are
I
we
said
playing
chicken
D&D
attack.
or
We're
what?
playing D&D or what?
Yay!
Post
When
the
we left off,
list of feats in random. It's hilarious. It's on Reddit. It's just a whole like list.
Oh shit! Sorry about
all
that.
right. So Ao comes up to you all as you're looking and discussing at the mammoths and says that she thinks that the group ought to push on and not take your night's rest, but to push on since the caravan outpost is so close. And she asks you all what you think.
As long as we stop for a minute for some mutton.
Oh, well, the mutton's at the caravan outpost. We just have rations, remember?
Oh.
We'll have, like, rations on the road and then get mutton when we get there tonight.
I can't wait.
All right. If Pete's okay with it, because he was hungry.
Okay.
And Maggie looks at her and says, mutton, and nods her head. And A says, yes, I promise. Okay, we get to the caravan. Look, and she starts to pull a kind of a notepad out of her pocket, and a piece of paper falls out at the same time, and she reaches down to grab it and says, "Oh, I forgot about this." And she opens it up, and it's a sort of a letter that had been handed to her as you were leaving the guard outpost this morning. And as she opens it up, it's a letter of introduction. She starts reading it out to you all. And it says, to the captain of the guard in charge of the caravan outpost, this group of travelers was of great assistance to myself and the 4 other members of the Aurora Watch, and did honorable service in retrieving the bodies of some of our companions and bringing back our wounded. Please grant them access to whatever they need from the outpost, and award them whatever is available for reimbursement. Sincerely, Captain Bankley. And you realize that this is a letter of introduction to the guards at the outpost, thanking you all for your service to the Aurora Watch, and basically saying that you'll be allowed to re-equip your caravan free of charge, and also be provided with some sort of monetary reward when you get to the caravan outpost.
Did you say muttonary?
Monetary.
I want some
And Ao looks at you
muttonary.
and says Ao looks at you and says, monetary, because she makes a nod at Queequeg, which can be converted to muttonary, and she looks at you, Jojito, and then she looks at Maggie and Pete and says, which means mutton. Everybody clear?
Okay, then. Yeah. You want to
Okay.
high step it?
Yeah, we don't need to high step. Just continue on the way we're going. Let's keep an eye on that herd over there and
Ale,
not try to camp.
Ale, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How did you become the leader of your group?
How? Is it just luck? Did you like prove yourself in like a test of strength? Like what happened? I'm really interested.
She says, honestly, we drew straws, and I got the short one. Nobody wanted to do it.
Oh, I
You
am
drew
more
straws
than
and I lost.
I am more than glad enough to take lead as leader.
And she looks at you and she says, I don't think that's the wisest idea. I think that you guys work really well without a leader. That any one of you trying to take over as leader would prove disastrous.
Is Geico hearing this conversation?
Yeah, you're standing right there.
I sure as
Um,
hell wouldn't follow your lead.
Evie is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Evie is our leader, correct?
No.
Oh.
I just am holding the necklace.
Evie, Pete leader.
And as well as mine, I guess you can all pick your leader, but Evie is ours. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, so Geico and Pete are following Evie. Queequeg and Tazcool are fighting over who's going to follow each other, which neither of them is going to follow the other. Jojito is just sort of hanging out. I don't care as long as there's cheese
I
and
don't
mutton.
care.
I'm just staying right
Cheese,
out. I'm
mutton,
not
and
following
friends.
that.
I'm happy.
Right. So with that, you get back on the road. Is there anything anybody wants to do before you get back on the road?
Cheese, mutton, and friends sounded pretty good.
So,
All right.
meta
We're
question.
going. Yes.
How long is it the expected journey?
We're going for the purposes of big old meta breaking away from the immersion for a moment. For the purposes of journeying, it will require 2 successful group perception rolls to get to the Caravan Outpost.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So take that and convert that to travel time, and you'll figure that that's probably about 6 hours.
Would that be enough time to trade some spells out? Like she's expecting that maybe like okay, so basically she can change her spells at a long rest.
Clerics can
Being
change spells on long rest, right, or short
yeah,
rest?
long rest.
Long
So
rest.
could she be in the uh cart and change her spells out?
You can be preparing to change your spells out, and I'll
Okay.
allow you to change like 3 of them.
Okay. Okay.
What if
So
I
Okay.
talk the party into moving a little more stealthily? Could we make it take 8 hours?
I need a perception roll from you, please. Let's see who else I need a perception roll. I need a perception roll from Geico and from Jojito.
Woohoo.
16.
All right. So with that, we have Jojito.
Rolling.
Scratch
14.
scar. Okay, yeah. The afternoon wanes on. It's dusty. It's hot. There's a fair amount of not exhaustion, but kind of long tired of this walking nonsense setting in. It's the end of the afternoon, the end of a long day of walking along in a dusty, dirty road. And you're looking forward to more of the same after dark as you take a break off to the side of the road one more time, get some water in you, get some rations in you, talk about how much further you have to go. And Ao uses Galsariad's instruments of calculation to look at the stars and sort of look at the surroundings around you, pulls out a map, looks at the map, and you realize that you have about 3 more hours of walking ahead of you. And it is now dusk. And there's discussion as to whether or not you guys should camp or not. Ao is still for pushing ahead for the rest of the 3 hours and getting to the Caravan Outpost. And her point is that in the dark, you won't be able to see those flying creatures if they come up on top of you. So she thinks that the closer you get to the Caravan Outpost, the better.
He could
But she
send
looks
his
at you guys
raven up.
in your decision. Huh?
Can Pete send his raven up
Yes.
to keep an eye on the sky as we walk?
Cacao can take 2 more flights around before it gets dark. He can't see after dark.
Oh. Well, then that wouldn't really matter then.
Yeah.
I can cast daylight on the horse's like its chest piece, and then we'd have daylight and we don't have to worry about it.
No,
And she
then
looks
we'd
at you
be a
and says,
beacon.
yeah, she says, no, let's not do that. Let's, I'll tell you what, if we get attacked, and if those things are demons like the last ones were, then do that. But don't do that until they do that, because we don't want to stand out like a brilliant sun in the middle of the walkway while everything else
Who's our
around us is
wizard?
dark.
Who's our wizard?
Galsariad. And Galsariad's nodding emphatically behind her, like, yeah, what she said, don't cast daylight unless we get attacked by demons.
Pete's gonna look at him and say, "You make Cacao see into the dark."
Cows see? I make cows see?
Cacao.
Oh,
And
I make cacao see in the dark. Oh,
he'll
yeah, I could
hold the
do
bird
that.
out.
I could do that. And he touches the bird, and it doesn't gain dark vision. What he does is he polymorphs it into an owl.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Well, then we can move in the dark, and Cacao can try to keep an eye on the sky for us.
Yep, and with that, Cacao gives a low hoot and takes off and starts flying above you, and is very definitely flying above you, and will give you all advantage on the next perception round.
Okay. Yeah.
As you,
Oh, what a beautiful day.
Oh,
I definitely say we made for the Pope.
right? Very much so. And Ayo agrees with you, Quick. And what were you saying, Jojito?
That is also beautiful, Gunter.
Yeah. And Ayo says, smart. That was really smart thinking. I like that, Galsariad. He says, yeah, no, I need to get to the outpost and consult with them about that rock. That's pretty interesting stuff out there. And anybody who wants to may make an insight roll on Galsariad. It's up to you.
In character, I would not.
Okay, in
Doesn't
character.
care for anyone.
Yeah, Geico's curious.
Yeah,
So is
Geico's
he.
always curious. He doesn't understand how anyone works, so he's like, yes, how does this social interaction go?
Realized absolutely nothing about this guy because he rolled.
if Pete has the opportunity, he will always roll perception because he's protective of Evie.
Right? Yeah, Queequeg
Or
rolled
insight,
a 9.
I mean.
Right. Queequeg rolled a 9, but as you guys are kind of standing there, you realize that Galsariad is nervous about that rock.
Did Queequeg see the carving?
No, you saw the brass rubbing that Evie did, and then the rubbing that Galsariad made.
That rubbing kind of tickles Queequeg's memory.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think back. Where did I see something like that before? Oh! And he reaches into his backpack and digs out that whip Pharaoh gave him.
Okay.
And he looks at it and says, I'm assuming there's a symbol of cloth on there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ayo,
Yeah.
is this that symbol that he was, worried about?
Where did you get that?
That half orc we met at the bar in Jagao. Old Feral Coot, I think is his name. He gave it to me.
That's and Galsarian takes one look at it and faints in the road. Just faints dead away. Falls in a heap of gray robes right in the middle of the road. And Dermot immediately, goes over to him and starts slapping his face and trying to raise his head up off the ground, helping him to snap out of it. And Galsari comes to and says, "Why do you have a scourge?"
You know what this is? Old
That's a scourge of Lolth. That's one of the priestess weapons. Why do you have that?
half orc gave it to me in Jagao.
Put it away. Don't get that out here. Don't show that around. When you get to Bazozan, hide that.
Should I get rid of it?
No, don't get rid of it. Just don't let anybody see it. Put it away.
Okay, I go ahead and transfer it to my backpack. I mean, it helped out with that demon I was fighting.
When you get to Bazozan, go to the Temple of the Luxon, and Dermot go with him. Go to the temple and have the high priest look at that and bless it.
Okay. And Queequeg goes like, what's going on?
All right, roll insight, Queequeg. Go ahead, Geico. Anybody who wants to help him can help him.
Yeah, I'll help.
I'll help. You said insight?
Yeah.
I didn't help.
Yeah, you can roll with
Oh
advantage.
yeah, I definitely need advantage because I rolled in that one.
Insight again?
I mean, as far as help was concerned, I was thinking along the lines of, bardic inspiration or guidance.
Oh yeah, here we go. I'll go ahead and just give him bardic inspiration. There we go.
Okay, what is bardic inspiration?
Is it at your levels D6, right?
D8.
D8.
Right.
That was a DM hint to,
I mean, fever brain, insomnia brain, fever brain. We're a pair today.
We are a pair, which is why I went ahead and spelled it out and gave you directions.
Okay,
And
16 plus 22.
22. Yeah, with an insight, you realize that weapon may very well be cursed.
Well, shit.
And you go ahead and scramble to put it away. You don't think you can get rid of it easily. Something makes you not want to get rid of it, but you also are a little bit afraid of it now.
Yeah, I'm definitely unequipping it, storing it in my backpack.
So you unequip it and store it in your backpack for now until you consult with a high priest of the Luxon at Bazozan. All right, and you all get back on the road. It is nighttime. I do need one more perception roll from everybody for the last leg of this journey, but you may make it an advantage because you did think to go ahead and send up Cacao in the form of an owl to help you. That's a good advantage, Evie.
I get advantage. I don't
Everybody
have dark
gets
vision or
advantage.
anything.
Everybody gets advantage.
Why is this one?
Cacao's helping you.
23.
Damn it. I got a 28. It rolled the actual 3D dice on my screen instead of putting it in there.
16.
Okay.
23.
Okay, so some of you have difficulty. Some of you have an easier time than the rest of you. But between all of you and the other group, you do start to hear a little bit of sounds in the distance that maybe are screeches and screams and cries of rage and pain from an animal, or animals. And you realize that whatever is going on over there, oh my gosh, she colored it in.
Perfect. It was already
So
too good.
It's so much better.
Pete,
Yeah.
Pete's
So
gonna
what?
stop
Uh-huh.
and he's gonna get down and he's gonna put his ear on the ground
Okay.
and kind of listen.
Roll nature.
Woo woo. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, Maggie is walking, Tazcool is walking, Queequeg is walking. You hear a lot of noises. There's the caravan itself rolling away. In front of you, the
no,
two wagons. You hear the sounds of the hooves. But as you lean down on the ground, I mean, even with a 5, you definitely hear. You're not sure whether you're hearing it through the ground or whether it's in the air around you, but you definitely hear the same sounds of disruption off to the west that you heard before.
closer.
At this point in time, you feel like if you're hearing it, it must be a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do I
Maggie
get
says, "Yeah, huh?
with the 18 perception? Do I get a sense of direction?
It's off to the west."
I'd like to send Cacao off that way to see how close they actually are.
All right. So you don't have find familiar. You have an animal companion. So he
Oh, I
comes
thought.
down to you. So you have to communicate that to him.
Does he know when I want him to come back?
I mean, you could call him.
I'll whistle for him.
Okay. So you whistle for Cacao, and after a few minutes, he's friendly to you. And he comes back down.
And then I'll ask him to go find him.
And he tilts his head to one side. In the raven tilt, but with the owl, it goes almost completely to one side until his eyes look like they're completely vertical instead of horizontal, and rattles his beak at you.
Okay. He doesn't get it, or
And then he flies away off to the west. And after, you guys keep walking, and after half an hour or so, he comes back to you, sits on your shoulder, preens his feathers. Do you have speak with animals?
I don't yet.
Okay. Whatever
I
he
mean,
saw,
Pete didn't think that far ahead.
whatever he saw did not concern him enough to cause him to be flustered.
Okay. I mean, that's fair
Okay.
enough.
So he's calm enough to preen, sit on your shoulder and preen.
Oh. And I'll like pull out a little bit of food I tucked away for him for my rations. Give it to him.
Okay. Make a history check, please. Oh, keep move.
Oh, really? History? That's not good.
Okay. Evie, you're seeing him talking to or attempting to talk to Cacao. You can help him with that history check if you want.
11.
PM him.
Yeah, no, you haven't figured it out yet either. So the two of you
PM
are
him.
happy with the interaction with Cacao. I mean, he's behaved. He's done exactly what you asked of him, and he's behaved beautifully as a bird.
Hey, Pete. What do you think Cacao thinks of our feather? Our, what was it called? My. Holy crap. What did you call the feather? What? Oh, the
Favor
favor
of
of.
the Raven?
Yeah, what do you think of the favor of the Raven Queen?
So are you getting it out? Holding it up?
Yeah. Maybe he's ticklish. Tickle him with it.
Okay. And I'll poke the bird with the feather.
Okay. And the bird looks at you like, you've got to be kidding. But Evie, in your mind, you hear, my child.
Oh man. Do it again, Pete.
Okay. I'm poking the bird again.
Oh my god,
Look
tickling!
at
Like,
I'm
what absurdity is
I'm-
it to tickle a bird with a feather?
I'm gonna shrug at the bird like I don't know.
And the bird looks at you and plucks the feather out of your hand, flies over to Evie, gives you the feather, Evie, and sits on your shoulder, and you realize that that feather gives you find familiar, and the cacao, while he is definitely Pete's animal companion, is your familiar.
Pete.
And it will act on the find familiar spell for you, but not for Pete.
It's a Posey Junior bird.
Oh, what?
He's got both his eyes though. It's like he's talking in my head.
Oh. Oh.
What you see up there? No, it's okay, Pete. I can translate for you.
Oh, okay.
He's still your pet. He just talks to me for some reason.
Well, you're a cleric of the Raven Queen, and he's a raven.
I just don't get it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can't believe I can't even say that fucking
And
straight.
Galsarian has very definitely got the palm of his hand pressed to his head, and his other hand cupped underneath his elbow, and he's just shaking his head.
Face palm.
Yeah, face palm. Very definitely face palm.
So,
And Pete's gears are working in his head, and he's gonna like go, oh, and he's gonna cast Wild Companion to find, and it gives me a bit I can expend a use of my wild shape to cast a find familiar spell without material components, and it hangs around for 2 hours.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call an owl in.
All right. So
Yeah.
you go ahead and call in another owl, because Cacao still has the polymorph on him for another, half an hour or so. So now you're both have this owl on your shoulders, and I mean, Evie, the one on Evie's shoulder is very much like a barn owl type, the white. The one that you call in is like a great horned owl. It's big.
Very big.
that's super cool, Pete. Did you just learn how to do that right now?
I don't know.
You're getting so smart. It's all those books.
Yeah.
I got a new
Wilde
book.
looks at all of this happening as says, "This whole thing is going right to the birds."
Right? And yeah, and yeah, and Cacao reaches up and starts eating the edge of your hat. What? Go ahead, Pete.
Oh, I just said, bump.
But just yeah. And Cacao starts eating the edge of your hat, and I'm ignoring Queequeg at the moment. And and the other owl is sitting on your shoulder, Pete, and you hear in your ear kind of the ho ho kind of gurgling sound of an owl. And in the back of your mind, you get this tickle of awareness that the owl is listening for commands. Doesn't have a lot to say. Will certainly tell you what it observes if you ask it, but it's not going to say things until you ask it.
Oh, hi.
Oh my god, Pete.
Hi.
Oh. Okay.
Now you're hearing it in your head, but you're talking out loud.
Oh, can you? Oh, wow. I bet you could find a rabbit.
Rabbit.
I'm hungry.
All right, and the owl very definitely goes flying off into the darkness silently, 100% silently. Just disappears.
What?
1 second it's there, and then the next second it's gone.
Can you see through your familiar's eyes?
If you stand still, you can see through its eyes and hear through its ears. And you can
Oh
still
God.
talk to your companions, but you are blind and deaf to your surroundings if
Oh,
you do this.
right. So Pete's most definitely just standing still because he was anyway, because he's kind of an oaf.
Uh-huh.
So he totally would fall into that like by accident.
And the caravan sort of goes on without him. Evie, you see Pete standing there, and after a few minutes, Maggie sees him standing there and turns around and says, "Wait!" And everybody comes to a stop as Pete's just
Oh,
standing there in the middle of the road.
huge smile on his face. Bird just
Meadow, can I
flying.
move if somebody
Yeah,
gets
as
like
you're
I put
flying
his hand
over
on my
the
shoulder?
landscape. And I like to think that birds have excellent night vision, like night vision goggles. That black and white, crisp view. You can see the outlines of objects, you can see movements, but you don't see any colors at all. It's night. So that's what you're seeing, Pete. As
Okay.
this bird zips over the landscape quicker than you could possibly, even at a full run, you could not keep up with the speed of this bird.
Wow.
Great.
Oh. Ah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit. Oh.
And it dives out of the sky onto this scurrying creature, and you feel the impact as it lands on the back of the creature, and its talons sink in, and it rises into
Oh.
the air and brings you back
Ouch.
a rabbit.
And I'm gonna toss the rabbit to Maggie. Look.
You got a bird.
You got the rabbit.
Meat. Then she very definitely starts, walking along and, pulls out her knife and starts skinning it and eviscerating it, preparing it to eat. As she's walking.
Geico's gonna like sidle up next to her and be like, when you're done preparing it, could I maybe have a leg?
Ask him.
Pete, can I have one of the rabbit legs?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Share.
You're a very,
So-
very good man, Pete.
So the three of you can eat live, raw, not live, but raw rabbit as you're walking down the road, if that's what you want to do.
Yep.
As we finish out the last leg of our journey to the Caravan Outpost, on the way to Bazozan, as you walk into town with Maggie and Pete, the ogre and the half-ogre, a little bit bloodied from this rabbit that was slaughtered on the road, and, a little blood around their mouths, and the Caravan Outpost on the road to Bazozan. and a little blood around their mouths, sort of smearing up the side of their face. Definitely a little bit of blood on their hands and fingers. Geico, you very definitely have a little bit around your muzzle too, but it's harder to see on your reptilian skin in the dark and the lamplight of the Caravan Outpost. As you come into this small, rather temporary appearing town, there are some wooden frame buildings. Most of them have like canvas roofs. There's a lot of very large tents. There are some corrals that are made from posts that are leaned together, almost like A-frame corrals that are easily moved. They're not joined together; they're just kind of leaned together and then tied with ropes, type situation. A lot of dust, a lot of dirt, quite a lot of people milling around. As you all pull into the outpost with two rather intimidating and rather bloody ogres.
So did Maggie do a good job on skinning the rabbit?
Oh yeah, she skinned it just fine. The skin is not savable per se because of walking, and she'd had to set it down and do it properly. She'd have been able to get it off in one piece. As it is, she got it was in pieces.
Okay.
Okay, I mean she's walking and moving, but it's effective.
Pete would definitely take a foot though. Then.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna keep one rabbit's foot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we will play out what you do with that later on, as we enter to the Caravan Outpost. And guards very definitely sort of bar your entrance, looking at especially the two ogres in the back, a little bit askance with a little bit of blood on them. But Ao presents the letter of introduction, and your group as a whole is taken into the outpost, and you meet with the captain of the outpost. And I've got his name written down here. Hold on one second. Yeah. Okay, hold on one second here. Captain Talfrey. All right. You meet with Captain Talfrey. Huh?
I thought we were straight to Basilsan.
No, you're at the Caravan Outpost on the way to Bazuzan.
It's a pit stop.
You're halfway to Bazuzan.
What is?
I thought we were talking about passing the caravan and going straight to Basilsan.
No, that's a journey of multiple days.
Oh, okay.
So this was just pushing on through the evening and through the night to get to the outpost, so that you had sort of safety in numbers tonight. So Captain Talfrey Damp greets you and reads the letter of introduction and passes out a reward that consists of 50 gold per person.
Ooh.
For the assistance that you rendered to the Aurora Watch.
How do you spell his name, the captain's?
Oh, I'll put it in the chat. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Man, I'm so broke compared to some of my other characters.
Right.
I opened my inventory and I was like, wait, what? Oh, that's right. I'm not Enoch.
Yeah, shoot, I don't even have 2 platinum yet.
Well, I mean, you get an additional 50 gold here.
I am stacked with money. Ever since that test that I took all the silver from, 150, I am stacked. I'm good.
I feel like Tazcool is gonna walk out of here as like a lord with his own mansion and land. But all of his serfs, he's just gonna start a fight club.
That's it, sitting on the throne like Conan the Barbarian.
Right? So Captain Damp is a tall, you can't really tell his age, but his young appearing drow. Very noble in appearance, very patrician-like, very well dressed, but also military bearing. He looks like, he's born into the military,
Oh.
made it his career and his life.
Sorry. Oh, I wasted a fucking 20.
Oh,
Bastard.
All right. So
here,
what are you
baby.
making a check on?
I'll give you bardic inspiration.
Aw.
There you
What
go.
are you rolling a check for?
It was an accident. I
Oh,
was
okay.
trying to get off the note part.
But she wasted a 20, so I'm just giving her a
Yeah.
sympathy inspiration.
And
I got
he
that
looks
damn one.
okay. He looks at you and says, was there any word on my brother?" And Ao looks at him and says, "Was your brother part of the watch?" And he says, "Yeah, he was the captain in charge of the patrol." And she says, "Well, the captain that we met was Captain Binkley." And he says, "No, Binkley was second in command. That must mean my brother was either injured or didn't survive."
Oh.
Oh, he's super dead.
Oh my god.
You say that to him?
Thank goodness, though. The fight was like super worth it, though.
And he looks at you like, "Oh my!" And
I flagged the captain down. He's a battle hungry idiot. Just ignore him.
all right, yeah.
Quite mean. I am just battle hungry, not an idiot. I'm just
You're an
an
idiot for
adept
saying it
social.
right to his face.
So the Tazkul Queequeg show goes on as you realize that Captain Talfrey, Captain Talfrey's older brother Torellian is one of the people that was killed by those demons on the road, and Ao proceeds to tell Captain Talfrey about the ambush and about the fact that you were all tracked, at least partially, by another group of them who appeared to be attacking or harrying a group of mammoths. And she, points out to the west and tells him about the fact that for the last 6 hours or so, you've been keeping track of another group of whatever those things were out there to the west. And he sends out a squad immediately to go and scout what's going on. And you see him pull aside the relatively younger appearing member of that scout group as his younger brother Deech, and tells him to be very careful but to bring back word. And so the patrol is headed out to scout the whatever was attacking those mammoths, and to follow up with the Aurora Watch patrol that was out there that had been attacked. And you all have an additional 50 gold, and we are at the Caravan Outpost. And we will take up our session next week with what you want to do while we're at the outpost, and then head out towards Bazozan. And you have a night's rest, and unless there's something you want to do right now at the Caravan Outpost, I'll give us the session to figure out what you want to do, and we'll figure it out next week.
I think Evie would like to go up to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Captain?
Yes, my child.
Geico's right behind her. He also wants to talk to the captain.
I know
Okay.
that our friend, well, our acquaintance, as he'd like to consider himself, but I think he's our friend. He just sounds a little cold. But really what he means to say is that your brother died fighting and probably most honorably trying to protect his peoples. He just don't know how to say it right.
I have no doubt that he did. My brother was first and foremost always a soldier, always active with honor.
kind of like Tazcool. They would have got along pretty good.
Very possibly. He also was often in fights at taverns. So probably very much like your friend Tazcool.
Okay, it's time for me to go read and pray and stuff. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Geico.
Oh, good night, tiny one.
Come on, Pete.
Yes. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, I just wanted to offer my services. I overheard, well, I guess I was, anyway. Your brother seems like he died a warrior's death. Therefore, if you are able to recover his body, I would be honored to eat him.
Yeah, I believe Ao says his body was recovered and they buried it. I believe he's and she looks at Talfrey and says he was consecrated, wasn't he? And he says yes, so he'll be reborn.
You bury your dead.
But yes, we bury our dead.
Oh, is that
we burn and then bury our dead?
Is that honorable?
Yes, amongst our people, yes. And it's the only way to be sure they don't come back as undead.
I mean, to a degree, digestion also ensures that.
This is true, but we do frown on eating our companions.
Fair enough. I'm still learning about other cultures. The small one you spoke to. She has been teaching me, and I'm learning. Thank you for also teaching me.
No problem. And he will kind of look at you and stick his hand out sort of reluctantly to shake your hand. He's kind of dealing with grief as best he can with this very weird group.
Geico will look at his hand and then look at him and then look at his hand again and then like cautiously like just lick it and then straighten up and nod and then he'll just walk away.
And he looks after you, wiping his hands sort of self-consciously on his uniform. It's like, looks at Ao, says, you travel with some very strange people. And Ao looks at him and says, you have no idea. And with that, we're going to fade to black and say, yay, this was another session, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, we actually got to a location.
Let me say one thing real quick. Matthew? Am I crossing a line with my confrontations with Tazcool?
No.
Okay.
I
feel like I feel like the Tazcool Queequeg thing, as long as you guys are okay with it, is a really fun thing, and I played into it.
And
but I do want to be sure that,
yeah, I'm loving that you guys are like checking in on each other too.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not crossing any lines.
Am I like going too far at all, or is it just cool?
Oh no, I think it's cool.
I love Tazcool, and I love the shit between Tazcool and Queequeg.
Yeah, Queequeg says you're not going too far either.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, no, you guys are beautiful. I love it.
I think it's the perfect additional spiciness to this campaign.
Yeah.
I really feel like Queequeg and him's gonna end up blood brothers.
Right,
somewhere.
like I'm just like the second they started like just nitpicking at each other constantly, I was like, they're gonna be bros, and I cannot wait.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that's happening. I'm sorry to cut it a little bit short, guys, but I'm running on fumes with exhaustion.
No,